Velveteen Rabbit started in 2002. I'm a founding member. I started with two other people who are no longer in the band, and Todd's actually the next guy who's been in there the longest. We actually originated in downtown Detroit. I've been in a kind of a series, a few different bands over the years, and this was kind of my first baby where I got to do most of the writing, I guess, at the time. And we played in the basement for a long time. And finally, someone said, "You know, Sandy, there's only so much to perfection that you can get. Either gonna do it or you're gonna do it."
There were three drummers, and I asked after a month of rehearsal. I asked everyone, "Am I in the band or not?" And they said, "Yeah." And we played the show right here in Roosevelt Park, Corktown. And then 3 months later, Sandy and I, because everybody else was out, went over to Europe, went to England, played, and then we came back, obviously, but it was just mellow for a minute. It was mellow for a minute, and then Nick joined, and there was the three of us, and got to figure out a new groove.
Yeah.
And and then Mike. Hell yeah.
I'm Mike. Yeah.
I really play guitar, but they needed bass, and I was like, yeah, I bet I could do that. And so I started out like borrowing some equipment, and then slowly put together a working man's rig, and been playing bass, having a lot of fun with it. But as far as that goes, like I've always loved the Pixies, like somebody really.
The Police.
It's just the Police. I mean, it's like pick a genre, and I'll tell you my three favorites or something. But
I liked The Who a lot. It's probably one of my first favorite bands. Seeing Pete Townsend, like, meow. I had the hugest crush on him, and I actually liked Kiss. And Gene Simmons, like he had that. I just like traced my finger over his face on the record cover, And then I got older, and I got into like Barbra Streisand. And when I started singing, I always liked like Billy Idol and Prince and Sinead O'Connor. I'm a huge fan. I'm kind of wrong with it.
From Ireland.
And that's interesting hearing that, because that makes so much sense, and that's the part of Velveteen Rabbit that I do like so much, or one of the many elements that I do like so much. One of the things where I think you really are stronger than most bands out there is that whole showmanship. And it's funny you mentioned bands like Kiss and weird, because even though that's like a very elementary level almost.
Detroit's always been really strong with musicians and artists
Throughout the years.
So it's kind of like
it's a blue collar town, and it's a working town.
Yeah,
it's a working town, and the thing about it is, and you know what? I don't know much about the music industry as far as the higher ups and what gets produced and what doesn't, but I'll say that every city's got its clique. It's like, hey, let's focus on Nashville. Let's focus on Seattle. Let's focus on New York. But Detroit, over, I'd say 50 years, has probably been the most solid all the way through. We've always produced because we're hard-working people.
I stayed here because there are so many musicians. And, you guys might be playing the same night somewhere else. You can't go see your buddy's band. That always sucks, but all those other musicians inspire me to work even harder as well. So when you're surrounded around other people who are doing that, it just builds something within yourself to just want to do more. That's why I've stayed all these years. I didn't go to New York because New York doesn't need me. Detroit needs me. That's how I feel about it. I hope they need me because I need them. I want to go catch some of this band. Can we take a break?
You're killing him. You're killing her.
Absolutely.
She's got to take a break. She's walking off the set. She's walking off the set.
Can I finish my point?
That's amazing. No, good. Go with it. You should be swearing right now. Go with it.
Let's get.
Are you rolling?
Keep going, right?
That's good.
Are you rolling, right?